following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Welcome in, everybody. It's Happy Farming Friday. It's just getting over the finish line. That's what we do on Fridays, right? Well, it's Friday night lights for a lot of people. I know Tommy Bryan here in our Wilson Post Office is working feverishly to get all the information out. If you follow the Wilson Post and you see all of what he writes about, he's got a new show that we're working on here at Main Street. We're going to launch in just a little bit. But and he's also got his coaching show that's going to come back to Wednesday nights from Town Social. So keep your post right here at the Wilson Post if you're watching on that channel, and make sure you FSS, and that is follow, subscribe, and share. If you have a kid or a grandkid or a niece or a nephew that is playing ball, there is something really important to remember. When they're playing sports, it might seem like just a goofy thing to use a mouth guard, but really the folks at Delta Dental have enlisted some help of some real professionals, not only to distribute mouth guards to kids who play ball all around Middle Tennessee, but Delta Dental of Tennessee tells you why that's so important.
Hi, my name is Brandon Wright, and I'm an NBA player. I'm here to talk to you guys today about the importance of wearing mouthpiece in youth sports, and especially in contact sports. I was a guy, when I was young, I always wore a mouthpiece to protect my teeth. Everyone hates those dreaded visits, going to the dentist when you had your teeth knocked out, a teeth chip, because you chose not to wear a mouthpiece. So it's very, very important to wear a mouthpiece. So I'll tell you a little story. When I was in the NBA, when I was playing for the Dallas Mavericks, I think it was in maybe 2011-ish, or around that time. It was a very, the NBA is a very, very physical game, and a guy's head made contact with my face, and I received a facial fracture, a concussion, and 2 years later I had to end up getting a root canal, but I did not have a mouthpiece in. So I kind of learned my lesson. So take that from me. It's very, very important to wear a mouthpiece. Mouthpiece reduces the risk of concussions. They will protect your teeth, and they probably will prevent you from getting a root canal. So wear your mouthpiece.
Did you know that over 60 million orphans live in our world today? And 1.5 billion children are without shoes. Many of them have disease that can be prevented just by providing them shoes. We hear stories every time of kids, of people living in wars and disasters. We typically forget that there are many people left in the aftermath of these catastrophes. What if we had a world where there are zero shoeless children, where orphans have homes and food and are protected and the opportunity to go to school by having shoes? With the help of many organizations, we're helping to make this happen, and we'd love to have you join us and help be a part of it. The second Monday of November is World Orphan Day. Would you partner with us not only by helping us create awareness, but help us be the change the world is looking for?
That's just a beautiful place to be.
Yeah.
Watch the sun come up every day and see all the cows and the new births and everything like that. That's what makes it special. Anybody bury all that money in the dirt and then leave it up to the weather. You better love what you're doing, or it's just not going to be that good.
We're blessed.
We are.
We're very
We've been blessed. There's no doubt at all about that. You farm because you love it.
Time for the Hope Show. Jean Garcia is with us from Heartland. Time for the Hope Show. Jean Garcia is with us from Heartland Adult and Teen Challenge. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing really, really well, except for the fact that every day I'm opening up news about fentanyl overdose and opioids, and I am astounded that we have a drug that is that dangerous out there.
Yeah, it's really, really bad right now between the opioids and the fentanyl, and just people don't even know what they're getting into.
Is that something that Adult and Teen Challenge can address if someone is addicted to fentanyl?
Yeah. We had a guy just recently. He wanted to come into the program because he was addicted to. He was using fentanyl, but before he came in, because it wasn't even 24 hours, he needed to go to a detox facility.
Let's talk about detox. Now, I don't know a lot about detox, but I have heard that if you don't go to a medical detox for some things, it can kill you. You have to be weaned down. It can't be just cold turkey. Is that true?
I've heard that too for Xanax, medications like Xanax. They typically call them benzos. Also alcohol, I heard, is really, really bad.
Something we don't even think about because it's legal to buy.
Yeah.
And it really is that important to pay attention to those things. Let's address the guy or the girl who's watching right now. Maybe a parent is saying, hey, I want you to watch the Hope Show. They've got some help for you. And they're going, I don't need rehab. I don't need treatment. I can quit on my own and I can just go cold turkey. I don't need this.
Stop quoting me. Well,
Yeah.
I've said that numerous times. I remember it. Someone who was praying for me for over 20 years. Well, we had her on the show. We had the video, Marie. I used to tell her all the time, I could quit anytime I want. It's not a problem. I'm not a drug addict. Are you kidding me? I just not right now. I'll do it another day. I'll do it another day. I'll do it another day. And then when I got confronted with reality and I found out that I couldn't, I tried every which way to get off the drugs, and nothing worked with Jesus. Nothing.
It's so important to have a group of people that wrap around you and encourage you. And the fellowship is a big part of it. The to realize that you're not alone and that you're not unique, that you're not the only one with the issue.
Yeah, no, that's the wonderful thing about Heartland Adult and Teen Challenge. And, I remember when I was in the program, just hearing the testimonies and the stories, like you said, and saying, wow, man, I'm not alone. And, well, I ain't that bad. Whoa, that one's worse than me. Just them thoughts. And wow. I remember one pastor, he came and he spoke, and he was really bad in the drugs. He went into the program, and he's a pastor, and he's married, and he has kids, and he's been running a church for 10 years, and he's a coach to the kids team. And it was like, wow, that could really happen. We had another guy who came, spoke with a chapel service. He was a gang member and really bad life. Wow. And now he's married to a lawyer. And it's like, my God. And it just cancels out all the lies.
I always say, and it's one of we quote this in the program too, is don't stop before the miracle happens, because there's a miracle around the corner.
Yeah.
And every day clean is a day closer to that miracle. And I know that moms are praying for their babies, and daddies are praying for their kids and their sons. And there are a lot of people who feel very hopeless because they think of treatment, and they think of this huge outlay of funds.
Yeah. Well,
let's talk about that. Can we discuss what it cost?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the cost of our program is, reduced, as I was told, down to $500 a month, and it would be a one-time non-refundable $250 processing fee. But if there is somebody, whoever you are, if you're watching right now, you're like, well, that program sounds great, but I can't afford it. See a number? Call me. I'm still going to try to help you, and I'm still going to try to get you a scholarship. I'm going to try to get you in the program. Or if there's somebody that says, well, it's a mother and says, well, I could afford to pay $200 a month, but I can't afford no $500. call me anyway. And we'll
Mm-hmm.
see what we can do to help get your child in the program. Obviously, adult child, 18 and up. But.
Yeah. Well, I want you to take a look at, you have Murfreesboro, and that is not a residential program.
Yeah.
Is the program in Clarksville residential?
It is, yeah.
Okay. So Clarksville and Memphis, is it residential?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you've got 3 different versions, 3 different areas. So you've got 2 residential and 1 that is outpatient. Yeah.
Outreach, yeah.
Oh, that is so good. Well, if you want to email the program, outreachmt@atctn.org. Jean, it's so important for people to understand that sometimes treatment, and this doesn't happen the first time. How many times did you try treatment or rehab before it took?
Well, me, I didn't, like we were talking about earlier, I didn't do the rehab thing. It was my first time,
Mm-hmm.
But, before that, I tried many times to get sort of on my own and attend meetings and do different stuff. But I never went to a long-term rehab treatment center because I got this. I could quit anytime I want. But, I ended up going after I submitted to God. And then that's when things really start to change in my life. And that's one thing that we tell people, if you submit to the lordship of Jesus Christ, you got radical change in your life.
I love it. Radical change is what we need. And we want to thank our friends over at Experience Church in Murfreesboro for making this show possible. Thank you so much, Experience Church in Murfreesboro.
Yes.
And they're doing a lot of stuff in the community there. And they know that the work for Adult and Teen Challenge is very important.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Jean, for your time with us today.
Thank you. Could I chime in one more thing? It's coming
Of
to
course.
you. Okay, I appreciate it. We also work with men who are incarcerated all over the state. So if anyone's incarcerated, if it's someone a family member, please contact me. There have been countless times where men have been court ordered to the program and they had time, or they didn't have time, or they're facing time, whatever the case may be. Don't lose hope. Still contact us. There may be an avenue for them to get released to the program and get the help they need.
I'm so glad you stopped me for that, because I didn't even know you did that.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That is incredible. Well, Heartland Adult and Teen Challenge, you guys check it out online. Thank the Experience Church and thank Jean Garcia.
Thank you. God bless.
Do you love bacon? I mean, do you really love bacon? Who doesn't, right? The 3rd annual Murfreesboro Bacon Fest is coming up Saturday, September 10th. Admission and parking are free. The Bacon Festival will feature live music, food, and craft vendors. And did I say bacon? You can ride a mechanical hog ride. Visit the Kids Zone with free inflatables. There will also be hourly raffles with great prizes and an opportunity to purchase Bacon Festival merchandise. And did I say bacon? Yeah. There will even be a bacon eating contest. Visit the 3rd annual Murfreesboro Bacon Festival Facebook page for all the details. Well, if you like bacon, the Williamson County Fair has certainly got bacon on the hoof. You can go and see the pig. The mama pig this year gave birth to 19 piglets. 19. Oh my goodness. And later on today on these pages, I'm going to be posting a little get together of all of the film that I took at the Williamson County Fair earlier this week. And it is so fun. It was so fun that I had to put it together in its own little show. But when it comes to agriculture, people don't realize how important bees are sometimes and how important honey is to the process. Well, Erica and J.K. Brister, they were guests on our recent Taste of Nashville edition of Mornings on Main Street, live from the Omni Hotel, talking about the Tennessee Honey Fest. And together, they have been espousing the benefit of the honeybee and the reason that we don't kill the honeybee, and how important they are to our gardens. In this episode, they're going to tell us a little bit about how to tell the difference between, not all honey is alike. It might come in a little honey bear, but chances are it's not real honey. It's sugar or syrup, fructose, high fructose corn syrup with a little honey flavoring added in, or maybe a little honey added in. It's important to tell the difference. I had no idea until I saw them talk about it.
Hey everybody, I have my husband here, J.K. Brister, to help me out with the tasting portion of our honey test to see what the difference between fake honey and real honey is. Because did you know that fake honey, the taste is gonna linger in your mouth for a long time?
I didn't know that.
Real honey is gonna go away in a matter of minutes. So we are gonna get a look here at 2 different types of honey, and we're gonna do it together. That way I have some backup here. So I'm gonna give you the real honey first.
Okay, here we go.
Because the real honey will go away quickly. And we're gonna try one of our thicker honeys. I'm gonna give you a little bit, that way.
I'm like Pooh Bear here.
Pooh Bear. This is crystallized too. So pretty.
Real honey.
Oh,
Well, that's amazing.
still there. Tick tock. Tick
Right.
tock. Okay. Still there. Kind of
It's kind of starting to fade now.
feel it on the back of my tongue, the back of my throat now. On my lips.
Now it's gone. Now it's pretty gone.
It is?
Except for the back of my, like in the back of my throat, I can
Yeah,
still
I
taste
still
it a
taste
little.
it.
But it's gone out of my mouth. That's it. About
Okay.
a minute and a half.
I don't know if it's been quite that long.
No, but I'm saying it's still there a little bit, but I can tell it's going away.
Okay, so let's try some fake honey and see how long it hangs with us.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
I haven't had fake honey in so long. I don't.
Let's see here. Try this one. Well, okay, that one, I don't know if we've determined that one's 100% fake. I think this one is pretty fake. Yeah, see, but look how fast that pours.
Oh,
I wouldn't eat all
Lord.
that. Put a little bit more in there. It's a fast pouring.
It doesn't even taste the same. Like it doesn't even taste. It doesn't even. It's sugary.
It's so sugary. The tip of my tongue is on fire. I mean, it's all tingly.
Yeah, it's got a little
Oh, it's
pepper.
hanging. That's all over my
Yeah,
mouth.
and it's got a Cairo syrup. It tastes like Cairo syrup.
I feel that all over, not like the real honey. The real honey like was traveled through my mouth and down my throat. This is like
Yeah, this is
hanging on everywhere.
strong and it's very rich.
Yeah.
It's definitely not. It doesn't. Not even close to that other honey.
That's like, it's like coating my throat and not going away.
And it has like a sugary.
Do you want
it
more?
tastes no. It tastes like sugar.
Yeah, it does
Honey
taste like
does
sugar.
not taste like sugar. You know what it actually tastes like is
I still taste
when
it
we're
on my
starting the
lips.
hives and we're feeding sugar to them to get the hive strong.
yeah.
It may be
Sugar
real
water.
honey, but it's actual sugar honey. And a lot of beekeepers hate feeding their bees. They will not use the honey that's made with sugar. They'll allow the bees to eat
Right.
all of that honey and use it for the brood and for the hive to get it stronger. And then they'll stop feeding them sugar through the growing season of the flowers and the clover and stuff. And so what happens
there.
is the
Still in the back of my throat.
honey taste changes. That if that is real honey,
It's not real
it's
honey.
sugar honey.
in my mouth.
Meaning that
Now it's in my cheeks.
I know, but what I'm saying is it could be real honey, but
not
it's
real
all
honey.
if it's made on a big bee farm,
just
they're
determined.
feeding sugar.
It's still in
to
our
it.
mouth. You still taste
I know.
it.
It's
That
sugar.
first honey wasn't still there.
It's sugar honey, but it's probably Cairo syrup.
Yeah, it's in my
Here, let me
cheeks,
taste.
in my dimples, behind my dimples.
Let me do this since we got all this chemistry. It's beautiful and everything. I'm gonna do after eating real honey. I can't ever eat this again. This is terrible. It's not even close to either one of those. But the consistency of this is like this.
So there you go. Taste your honey. That's the most funnest way
That's right.
to see if your honey
And
is real or
then
not.
when you're done tasting the honey, you just get a good little honey kiss, like that.
Well, you can do all sorts of honey tasting at the Tennessee Honey Festival coming up. Tennessee Bicentennial Mall. Check September. Follow them on their Facebook page for all the details of what's coming up. Love Erica and JK Brister at US Pest. They created the Honey Festival, and it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. Hey, if you have seeds that you save each year, you might want to be a part of the seed exchange. The Nashville Public Library. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but they have a seed exchange every year. Once your season is over, you harvest your seeds and take them into the library, and you can exchange them. The Nashville Public Library Seed Exchange, if you have a library card, you can get seeds every year at the beginning of planting season for free. Then you go and harvest those seeds at the end of the year, turn them back in so everybody can benefit. It's the Nashville Public Library Seed Exchange. I thought that was pretty cool. And this weekend, they're having their fall flower and veggie planting workshop. There is a planting season for the spring and the summer. And then in the fall, we grow all sorts of things like lettuces and potatoes. And if you want to find out more, this Saturday at the Hermitage branch of the Nashville Public Library at 2 p.m., the Fall Flower and Veggie Planting Workshop. If you go to the Nashville Public Library Hermitage Facebook page, you can find out all the details and how you can register. It's absolutely free. And if you don't have a public library card for Nashville, which serves all of the connected libraries in Middle Tennessee, for all of their free events and their free things, you should, because it's one of the best dollars you will ever spend. It supports the library, and they have so many programs. It's really cool. If you have a health issue, there are a lot of natural plants and natural ways that you can make your life better. And I discovered Dani Williamson in Brentwood a while back. Whether it's hormones, whether it's lady issues, whether it's man issues, what she does in her wellness program is incredible. I thought I would share a little bit about Wild Woman Wellness and integrative health.
I was 21 years old when I had my first colonoscopy. I was alone at college, chronic diarrhea, bloating, gas, all of those things. Had a colonoscopy, told you have colitis. Back then in the 80s, it was colitis. Put on Prilosec, Nexium, Librium, all those things. And so from the age of 21 to 44, when I got out of school, nurse practitioner school, I had multiple colonoscopies, 3 colonoscopies, a couple of endoscopies, some barium enemas, barium swallows, 24 years worth of GI nightmare, and put on all kinds of medications. And then in my early 30s, about 32, diagnosed with lupus, 2 little kids, sick as a dog with lupus, and then chronic itching for about 5 or 6 years, just scars on my arms from itching for years. So I had like 2 rheumatologists, a couple dermatologists, 3 gastroenterologists, so around 7 docs total in 20-something years. Not one time did any doctor ask me, Dani, what do you eat? Do you take digestive enzymes? Do you take probiotics? Do you know your food sensitivities? Until I was 44 years old, got out of school, started my first job, which happened to be in an integrative family medicine practice. And I was like, well, what do you mean? I eat anything I want. I have no idea what food sensitivities are, and I've never had a probiotic or a digestive enzyme in my life. And that was the turning point for me. This was the first job out of Vanderbilt for me, and I wasn't taught any of this. I wasn't taught anything about gut health or healing the body from the inside out. And so when I did my food sensitivity testing, 29 foods out of 96 were positive for antibodies, meaning they were affecting my body in some way. So salmon was on there, green beans, good food was killing me. So 29 foods. I started eliminating those foods, digestive enzymes, probiotics, and it took about 4 years worth of gut healing for me, being really consistent. And this time last year, which was a year ago in November, there were no antibodies left in my bloodstream. I'd tested 0, no antibodies for lupus in there, which is amazing. So complete remission from healing the gut. No itching anymore, no chronic diarrhea, and all of this stemmed from those questions that, in my opinion, should have been asked for 20-something years. So anyway, it set me on a mission. And that's how I've built my practice around the last 5 years almost, is healing the gut first. Starting with the gut, starting with the 80% of your immune system is in the gut. So it affects 80% of everything that's going on in your body. The serotonin from your brain is also located in the gut, about 75 to 90% of it. So when the gut's inflamed, so are the symptoms of anxiety and depression. So it's logical to me that this is the first place that we start, but we're not taught this. We're not taught this in school, and the patients aren't taught this. I mean, I was put on antidepressants because I was so stressed out, and that's how we tend to treat patients is, if you can't heal something, just go ahead and send them to psych. And there's a time and a place for psych. But not everybody has to have an antidepressant because they've got a leaky gut. So that's how I got started. And when I started integrative family medicine, my practice now, I made it a mission to educate and empower and encourage the patients along the way. And we start in the gut. The majority of my patients have autoimmune disease, and women have autoimmune disease 8 to 10 times more than men do. And so the bulk of my patients are women, and that's what we do is I educate them on healing the gut. We do food sensitivities. We look at what are you eating, what is your lifestyle like, start all the way back from childhood. Did you grow up near chemical plants or fields, herbicides and pesticides? Do you have a mouthful of mercury amalgams in your mouth? Were you immunized? All these things that add up, not one thing that causes autoimmune disease, but all of these little things that add up. So we start there and we dig, to figure out, okay, what's going on? What's going on with our gut? What are you eating that's inflaming your body? What's your lifestyle like? Stress is huge, and stress will kill you. Just kind of like food will heal you or kill you, and you have to be real careful on what you eat. Stress will kill you as well, the way you handle stress. So we really work on the whole emotional, physical, mental, spiritual side of health, integrative health, the whole thing. It all works together. So when I started, that's what my mission was. So I work with women, mainly women. I mean, I do have men that are in my practice, and women have autoimmune disease 8 to 10 times more than men. We're the more toxic of the two. We're the ones who breathe in the chemicals, the cleaning supplies, the lotion, the hair color, the makeup, the lipstick. I mean, we do all of that. And by the time we get out of the bathroom in the mornings, a woman has on average 200 to 300 chemicals on and in her body, in her bloodstream. It's unbelievable. So, and when you think about it, the bulk of my practice is autoimmune thyroiditis, Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And so here's the nose and here's the thyroid. So really when you think about it, it's a proximity issue here. You're breathing in chemicals or you're spraying perfume on your thyroid, which is a huge no-no. And therefore the thyroid's inflamed, swells up, out through the lymph system, and we start to turn on the immune system. And once you have one autoimmune disease, you're more likely to have a couple, 2 to 3. So that's the mission that I have at Integrative Family Medicine, is to really educate people on healing their body by decreasing the inflammation.
I just think she makes so much sense. She's got a book, Wild Woman Wellness, and Dani Williamson is incredible. Integrative family practice down in Brentwood, Tennessee. You can follow Dani Williamson on YouTube, and every Sunday night she has these amazing shows. It's called Her Sunday Service, and she has experts, and they talk about things that are hard to talk about. Incontinence and what would cause it, and ways naturally to heal it, and how to heal your body, and anything from heart and plaque buildup. She just makes sense. And so I just wanted to share her with you. Hey, tomorrow night, the songwriting series at the historic Rock Castle in Hendersonville, Tennessee, 5 to 8 p.m. The sun sets, the songwriters sing. It's incredible. And last night, I hope you got to go out and see the meteor shower and the last of the super moons, I think for the season. It was incredible. The moon was so good last night. It's still going to be good tonight, but last night was incredible because there was, in some areas, you could see the meteor shower. It's the most active meteor shower ever. I wanted to do the shout outs to the people who joined us. Corinne, what rides did I go on the Williamson County Fair? Actually, it was not open when I went there. I went there so I wouldn't have to, so y'all could hear all the things that were going on as I did the stories. But there are a lot of things that I wouldn't ride. The Matterhorn and the Himalaya, probably a little bit too, they have a Jekyll and Hyde ride that's a little scary for me. Really, they're all scary for me, but the merry-go-round is pretty cool. It's romantic and sweet and wonderful. So there is that. And there's something at the fair for everybody. The merry-go-round and the funnel cakes, that's kind of my jam. So there you go. Williamson County Fair. This is the last weekend for that. Hello, Steve Birney. I hope you're doing well. Hello, EB, Elizabeth. And the teacups are there, but I did not ride the teacups. I don't ride the teacups. They make me sick. But I like to see that other people have fun doing those things. I don't have to ride the rides. That's okay. There are people who ride those rides who don't like going into the livestock barn. That's my jam. So there's something at the Family Fun Fair at Williamson County, one of the cleanest fairs you will ever go to in your whole life. That's the last weekend is this weekend. And don't forget, if you want to go to the Songwriter series, it is free. It features this week The Woods, the Magi, Damian Horn, and his crew. They're so good. Nicole Boggs and The Real and Stephanie James. That's who is on the Songwriter series, Rock Castle. It is a great way. Sunset over that beautiful lake. Hendersonville. We're going to say goodbye and say be safe and be kind. Remember, you are loved. And we're going to close with the historic Rock Castle. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. See you at Backstage Nashville.
I don't understand. It don't make no sense. But you don't have to, baby. Yeah, when it feels like this, I can hear your heart beating on top of mine. We're on the same wavelength. Yeah, we're running on the same time. Yeah, I wanna get high. For the first time in a long time, I'm feeling alright. And I wanna get stoned. Off that look in your eyes that said never let go. I'd give all my life just for a moment with you, doing all the things that new lovers do. Got me feeling it. Oh, darling, if you only knew. You got me in the palm of your hands. You got me all choked up. Yeah, baby, well, I hope you understand it. Yeah, and I wanna get high. For the first time in a long time, I'm feeling alright. And I wanna get stoned. Give all my life just for a moment with you, doing all stone. Off that look in your eyes, said never let go. You got me in love, you got me feeling alive. Yeah, something different, something better, something real this time. Yeah, I wanna get high, yeah, I wanna get stoned.
Nothing like the sunrise with your coffee in the morning, or taking a good book off the shelf. Another thing I love the most than being on my own is together with everybody else. Together, like a silent Sunday summer. Together, on my front porch with my friends. Together with who's ever there.